if you can believe it. Finally, back home, and been a busy time. We've been up in Maine, and what I'm going to do tonight is give you just an introduction to a new series that I'm going to do on our live streams here. And I'm not sure when I'm going to start. I might start as early as tomorrow night. We'll see. And I'm going to do several segments of what I'm calling the return of Rome. The return of Rome. Let me just say this about it. Remember Daniel chapter 2? Daniel chapter 2 gives the dream of Nebuchadnezzar. In the dream, he sees a statue. And the head of gold is him. He is representative of Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar. And then you got the silver, and then you've got the brass, and then you got the clay, and and the 10 toes and all that, the legs of in other words, the metal goes from gold to silver to brass to iron. Iron's not very valuable, but it's very strong, right? And that's Rome, the Roman Empire. And I'll give you the dates of all these when we get to it, and the dates of these kingdoms. See, these kingdoms actually came and went. But did they went? Did they go? The truth is, these kingdoms did not leave, especially Rome. We are still, to this day, in the Roman Empire to some degree. Even though they don't rule the entire world like they did for about 500 years, they're still a player, and they still have their hooks in the different nations of the world, like Great Britain and America, and what the Bible says in Daniel 2 and Daniel 7 is that the Roman Empire, though it was not the world empire anymore, it's coming back in the end time. It's going to be the Antichrist kingdom. You've heard people say you've heard of the revived Roman Empire. That's what we're talking about. It's the Roman Empire that was. Now remember, the Roman Empire that was, but still is, and is coming back. And it's going to be the Antichrist Empire. And what I'm going to share with you in the next in this series that we're going to do, I'm going to show you that Rome is coming back. The return of Rome. It's already beginning to show the signs of what it was, and I'll share several different aspects of that as we go along. Not tonight, but. So prepare yourself. You might want to get you a little notebook or something, and when we come on, or maybe you missed the live presentation, but you can watch it later on YouTube. By the way, those of you on Facebook, I'm doing both. I try to do both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I don't know how long I'll keep doing that, but I've been doing that. But the YouTube one is the one that is easier to, it's more accessible, because Facebook, after a week or so, it's way down the bottom of the list. On Facebook, you have a hard time finding it. Where YouTube, you just go to YouTube, go to the Spotlight page, and just look for it. It'll be there. And unless we get bumped off, right? Which could happen. So we're the Roman Empire. You can see right now that the roots of Rome and the establishment of Rome and the system of Rome is beginning to flourish again, and I'll show you that. Okay, listen, the new book. I think I've got one right here. The new book, The Prophecy Puzzle, 270 pages. This, I believe, is the most important book that I have ever written. It's got parts of all my other books in here, not all of them, but most of them. 270 pages, and at the end of the book, the last chapter, or the last section of the book, is called The Final Piece of the Puzzle. the final piece of the puzzle. And I believe God gave that to me in 2016. The final piece of the puzzle is the stuff on the barley harvest. I was talking to a preacher just the other day, and he said, Brother Goodwin, Brother Goodwin, of all your books, he says, the barley harvest is the best book. He just was so amazed at the barley harvest book. And that's the final piece of the puzzle. And so I have some things about that in here. There is, as you can see, some color in the book. And we turn the page here. There's some color there. That's declaring the Abib barley. And so I think there's about 16 full color pages in the book. And the beginning of the book is very important, where I explain how to rightly divide prophecy and how to understand, how to put the pieces together. Life-changing. And all right, so if you don't have that yet, go to the website, ProtestantSpotlight.com, go to the bookstore, Dan's bookstore, and get it. Brother Scott said he's enjoying the new book, and some of Scott's poems are in there. In fact, he wrote a brand new poem just for the puzzle book, and it's in there. But I don't know if Scott knows it, but some of his other poems made it into the book as well. I might have said puzzle instead of poem, but I'm wore out. We just got back from Maine, and I drove 16 hours. From 6:30 in the morning till 11 at night. I mean, we made a few stops, but I mean, I drove all the way. And then the next morning we left out again. And we got home yesterday, yesterday evening sometime, 6 o'clock, I think, something like that. Anyway, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever. All right, we've got many more people watching YouTube than we do Facebook, so I don't know what that means, but and I am not home. I have been out doing some errands, and I decided to pull over here and do the live stream right here instead of back home, and it's working fine with just the phone signal without internet. Everything, I don't think we're buffering or anything. I think everything's fine. So anyway, so be looking forward to, I got some exciting stuff. I've been thinking about this for several weeks now. This thing about the return of the Roman Empire. Because I know it's coming back. I know that it's the final end-time kingdom. And if that's true, and we are in the last days, we ought to be able to see some things. Well, guess what? You can. And so we'll begin that on the next live stream. And so be watching for that. Let's see. Russell says one of Kamala's new ads, they've taken a gospel song, converted it to sing about abortion rights. Can you imagine? Let's see if I can click on that. Russell is down in Texas, I believe. Could you imagine being that sick? Yeah, they are. And I said to somebody today, I said it's not Republican and Democrat anymore. It's good versus evil. And some of the Republicans are evil too, by the way. It's not just Democrats, but it's good versus evil. This is not just politics. This is just not two different parties. This is good against evil. And if you don't see that, you're not paying attention. You don't have eyes to see. You don't have ears to hear. If you don't see how evil that these people are. And by the way, as evil as you think it is, you could magnify that tenfold. There's so much. It's Franklin, North Carolina. I'm outside the Highlands, by the way. Russell, you're in Franklin, North Carolina. All this time, did you used to be in Texas? I thought you were Texas. Anyway, maybe you were at one time, or maybe I've just been mistaken. So anyway, keep an eye out for this. We're going to have some exciting stuff to share with you. I'm going to try to show you the tentacles of the Roman Empire that have slipped back in to America and the European Union. Anyway, Russell says he's never lived in Texas. I don't know why, Russell. In fact, I think every time I do a show and I see you pop up, I say Russell's here from Texas, or Texas is with us, or and I don't know how I did that. But anyway, no matter. The important thing is you're here, right? And okay, so I will sign off of Facebook and get the rest of the way back home. And we lost a freezer while we were gone for 2 weeks. We come home, the freezer out in the back room had stopped. It had quit. And probably $300 worth of meat that my wife buys, gone, spoiled, gone. And man, oh man, so we have got to get that out of there. I'm just going to take the whole freezer full of meat and take it to the dump. And so we're going to have to go and buy another freezer. So anyway, so be on the lookout. I may start as early as tomorrow night, between 7 and 8 o'clock Central. I don't know. You never know what time I'm going to come on. So be watching and see. It's possible I won't come on until Monday, but we'll see. Keep an eye out. We're going to share some interesting stuff about the return of Rome. Okay, it's coming. You ain't going to stop it. All right. So let me get off of YouTube. That's what I'll do, and then I'll hang on to Facebook until last. So. Okay, so thanks for watching, and keep your eyes on them skies. See if I can get her off. There we go.